Okay, welcome to the video. We've got a fun one here. In under 5 minutes, I'm going to try and take you through 5 investing mistakes that you should be avoiding. Should we get straight into it? If you're new here, hi, I'm Matt. I work in private equity and investment banking, have done for about a decade, and I've made every single one of these mistakes that I'm just about to mention. And apparently I really like the color green. Number 1 is going to be don't invest in individual stocks. And now I know this one's going to be controversial because I'm going to have everyone in the comments saying, ooh, I made my money off of Tesla. This is how I got rich. And yes, that is the point. The reason that you've heard about those people making money off of individual stocks is because that's the exception, not the rule to it. The amount of knowledge that you need to stay on top of to make sure that you have everything you need, all the decisions you need for that one individual stock is insane. You have quarterly reports, semi-annual reports, annual reports, investor update. Just have a look here as I look through. Tesla's just released its earnings and this is what it looks like. This is the number of articles you need to stay on top of. Although everyone's scared of losing all of their money on crypto, the volatility that you can see on individual stocks is extreme. Here's 3 stocks. These are big names that we're talking about here that have all had at least a 70% drop in the last few years. Really, can you take on that level of risk, or is it better to just pull your money together and invest in a fund? Now, obviously, if you're not going to invest in individual stocks, this video is not how to avoid investing altogether, it's how to avoid mistakes. So the thing that I would look to do is to invest in funds. But with funds, of course, there's going to be some things to watch out for. So the thing to look out for here, don't overpay for management fees. You might ask, what is overpaying for management fees? Surely 1%'s okay, but why don't we look at this example here? So you have £100,000 invested across 30 years. It's assuming a 5% return. And if at the end of that there were no management fees, at the top here, you get about £400,000. Now, just going down to a 1% fee, look at that second darker green bar, £112,000, a quarter of your benefit is going in fees. Go all the way to the bottom, about 50-50 when you reach 2%. Be careful here. Even what appears to be small management fees could have a massive impact in your performance. So what's the thing to do here? The best thing is to invest in a tracker fund. That means that it's just tracking an index. My favorite, which is absolutely not financial advice, I love an S&P 500 tracker fund. Here's an example of one with 0.09% management fee, which basically means you get to keep everything. Number 3, frequently trading in and out of the positions that you have. You're going to ignore me anyway and go out and buy a load of stocks and shares. And if you do that, every single time you trade in and out, there's a cost to doing that. Now, this is a natural thing that everyone wants to do when they get involved. They're excited about learning new sectors. They've got new ideas they're discussing with their friends. And this practically means that you're buying something, you're selling it 2 months later, you're buying something different a week after that. And it's the same point as number 2. You're just paying additional fees, which is eating into your returns. So really try and buy something that you're comfortable with. The adage is the best thing to buy is the thing that you're happy to hold on to forever. So the less you can play around with this, the better generally. Find something that you're really comfortable with and stick some money in there for a decent amount of time and don't play around with it. Number 4, please stay away from bonds. Now, my message does generally go to those that are under 50 years old, but it applies to most people. The returns looking back over the last 50 years, after the last 100 years, every single time equities have outperformed bonds. I just do not understand. If you're under 50 here, I do not understand what bonds are doing in your portfolio apart from holding you back. A historical rule that was meant to help you understand how many bonds you should have in your portfolio, and it was related to your age. So your age should be the same amount of percent as your portfolio. In other words, if you're 30 years old, you should have 30% of your portfolio in bonds. Please, if you are that 30-year-old with 30% in bonds, please have a word with yourself and get rid of them. All they're doing is holding you back in your performance. They are not right for the majority of investors. The 5th and final one is about pensions. And the thing you should be avoiding here is having your pension in low risk investments. When you have your auto enrollment in your pension, generally all of your money is going into a low risk fund. You need to immediately go into your pension provider and put that into the highest risk they have. You have so much time here to gain back any losses that you might incur. The whole idea here, be aggressive, take a bit more risk, get a bit more money at the end of it. You have decades that you're playing with here. So if you make a loss, you have many, many years to recuperate it. To round up, those are my 5 big things that I wish I had avoided earlier. It would have resulted in my portfolio looking a lot better than it is now. Please let me know in the comments what you think about those. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Love to hear it. Thanks, guys.